Good morning. I hope you guys are having a great day. It is beautiful here in East Tennessee. Pretty chilly this morning, probably in the low 40s right now. But it's gonna be a beautiful day. So I'm coming down here to check the greenhouse because I usually check it pretty early when the stove's on, because as soon as the sun comes up, I can really turn that stove off. Rebounds pretty quickly in here. 76. So look what my neighbor got me. He got me desert rose, which, funny story, when I went to Florida, I got several plants. My husband got some palm trees, we got bonsai and stuff like that, and I looked at a desert rose down there and it was so pretty and I almost bought it. And then when I left, I regretted it and couldn't find one here when we got back to Tennessee. And so they went on a trip and got me a plant, and he's like, "Oh, I got you a plant." And I was like, "Yeah, what is it?" And he said, "I'll show it to you later." So he came over later that day and brought this, and I was so excited when I saw it because I knew exactly what it was. So it may have white flowers or pink flowers when it blooms, but it's just so pretty. The one in Florida had bloomed, so I don't know what time of year this one will bloom in here, but we'll just keep an eye on it, and I'm so excited about it. Now I have a plan today to preserve some pumpkins. We had the fall festival this weekend. We had a lot of pumpkins and it rescheduled, so not all the pumpkins went home with somebody. So I have a ton of pumpkins left over, and I think that I'm going to either freeze some, dehydrate some, make some pumpkin powder out of them, and use them for like pies, breads, and various things for cooking. I don't know exactly how to do it. I've not done it before, but I read a bunch of stuff all day yesterday on how to do it. So I think I'm gonna do like several methods. I think I'm gonna dehydrate one method, and then the other method, I think I'm gonna puree it and freeze it. And I may puree it and dehydrate it, I don't know. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but I'm gonna look in the ball canning book, or I'm gonna look on the food preservation website and see what ways they suggest. And I think there's several different ways on there that are safe methods, and I'm gonna go by one of those. I may try 2 different ones today and we'll see how it turns out. Just pretty in here today. Sky's just glorious. All right, I'm headed up to the kitchen to start with these pumpkins. All right, let's start with a smaller pumpkin. I have quite a few of them, and I don't know exactly what kind of pumpkin this is. There may be certain ones that are like preferred for this type of thing, but these are the ones I have, so I'm just gonna give it a try. More pumpkins, more pumpkins, more pumpkins. Pumpkins everywhere. Some of them I may give to my chickens because pumpkins are a natural dewormer for chickens. Now, a good preventative. People will argue that sometimes if you actually have an outbreak or something, I probably wouldn't use that, but just as a preventative, definitely a good thing to go with. Now, I'm gonna puree the pumpkin. I may also freeze some puree. I'm gonna try different ways, but I'm very intrigued on dehydrating and making the pumpkin powder. For one, I don't have a lot of freezer space left from everything I've preserved over the summer. So dehydrating it and putting it on my shelf will be awesome. And you can take the powder and make it back into a puree for the breads or pies or whatever you need to use. So that really intrigues me. I really want to try that and see how that works. If so, I could dehydrate a lot of this stuff and just keep it in my mason jars. Now I'm gonna wash my pumpkin really good before I start. Pumpkins can get mold and things like that on them, so I want to get them really good and clean, scrub them up, because I'm going to be cutting it. It does say to cut it, to remove the contents, and peel it, but I have, from every video that I've watched, it says to peel this is very difficult. So it says to go ahead and cook it first and then peel it, and it will be so much easier. So, and I can see that. So I'm definitely going to try that because I'm still going to be cooking it regardless. But yeah, this is going to be the fun part. Like getting this pumpkin cut. I have so many out there. If I had to do all these, I would probably need like a saw or something. Maybe a drill I could do it with. I don't know. Or some more muscles, but whew. I think it's supposed to cook in here until You can put a fork through it. It's pretty soft. It's getting there. All the pumpkin bread that I've ever made is from a can. So if this was good, it'd be pretty awesome. I've got like 20 minutes before this stuff is ready. So I'm gonna take this pumpkin down to the chickens and we'll see if they like it. I probably should have put a coat on. Oh well. Hey chickens! What are y'all doing? So I put some straw bales in here. This is a good area for the little chicks to go. Sometimes I hang like a sweeter heater down in here if I've got baby chicks and keeps them warm, or I'll put them inside the coop. Either way, or do both. But this will keep like the wind off and it gives them something to play in. The chickens love to get on it. I usually do this in the winter time and put some straw in here. I've never had any issues. I did it last winter and they like it. Now be patient here. I think they like it. Alright, let's head back to the kitchen. Oh, wildflowers, they're still going. Really pretty. Alright, it looks soft. You can put a fork all the way through it. And I'm gonna see if I can remove all this off and then put it in my blender. All right, let's see how easy this is. Oh my, yes. Okay, this is gonna work. All right, I've got all this separated. I'm gonna put it in my Ninja and see if we can get it blended up. I don't know if I can fit all this in here. Let's do it a couple times. It looks good, so I'm gonna put the rest of it in there and see how much we've got. I'm going to scoop it in here and do it like I was gonna do like a fruit leather. Just put a layer of this puree on here on each one of these and just let them harden up until I can put them in my dehydrator and break them up. Alright, I'm down here at my garden and I was letting this okra dry on the vine because if you're wanting to collect seeds, you want to let them dry on the vine until they will kind of split open and the seeds will come out. So this one right here, for example, is starting to split. See that? See that? Now the seeds just pop out of there. Now these are ready to harvest. You want to take those seeds, and I'm going to put these in my basement in a cool, dry spot over the winter, and then they'll be ready to plant again in the springtime. All right, I gotta take some stuff I've been cutting down to the compost pile. It was time to cut back on some of my plants, like my hostas and my coneflowers, and all those things have died off. So I cut them down. They'll be back again next year. Well, let's go in here and see what my husband's done on the nightstands. He worked on them last night. I think he's going to try to finish them up tonight, or maybe start the staining. They look good. He's finished all the edges, sanded them. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's nice. This tree right here is just extraordinary. Look at that. I'm probably not doing it much justice.